Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today, we are looking at cadmium-induced cancers in animals and humans. So we talk about cadmium as a heavy metal. We know that it is used in the U.S. and other countries as a byproduct of smelting zinc, lead, or copper ore. It does exist in nature, but most of our human activity from heavy industry is what causes its existence. And carcinogenic activity of cadmium was discovered first in animals, then in humans. And cadmium compounds have been classified as known human carcinogens by the International Agency for Research on Cancer and National Toxicology Program based on epidemiological studies showing a causal association with lung cancer and possibly prostate cancer. We know we can be exposed to it through food, through smoking, through industry, and it can also get into our water through all of these different byproducts. It was discovered in 1817, and it was not commercially used until the end of the 19th century, hence when we started getting into heavy industry. And there's different types of it. There's cadmium chloride, preparation of cadmium sulfide, medallic alkyl printing, electroplasting, pigment manufacture, and vacuum tubes. There's cadmium hydroxide, alkaline batteries, cadmium nitrate, glass porcelain colorant, and photographic emulsions, cadmium oxide, silver zinc storage batteries, heat stabilizers for plastic and alloys, cadmium sulfate, intermediate and electroplating. There's cadmium stearate, lubricant and plastic stabilizer, and cadmium sulfide, which is pigment. Then we also have human exposures, and that is what we really want to take a look at, as well as animal exposures. So soil and water near industrial areas or waste sites typically contain higher concentrations of cadmium, and from human activities, heavy industry, 4,000 to 13 tons of cadmium are released into the environment every year, according to the EPA Toxic Release Inventory. Total on and off disposals of other releases of cadmium and cadmium compounds equal close to 5 million pounds, with 80% of cadmium compounds. That's quite a lot. Just take some time to really understand that human industry, while it does have its good aspects, it can release a lot of cadmium into the environment. Cadmium has also been shown to bioconcentrate in water, plants, and fish. And that comes back to you. So methyl mercury and cadmium getting into the fish's gills eventually will lead itself back to humans. A special concern are mucosa and crustacean cadmium levels in crabs, which may be as high as 30 to 50 parts per million. Outside the occupational exposure setting, the main sources of cadmium are in air from zinc, lead, or copper smelters, from burning fossil fuels such as coal or oil, from the incineration of municipal waste materials as well. And the toxicity is quite adverse, as it can cause issues for lung irritation, pulmonary irritation. Long-term problems can also lead to the buildup of cadmium in kidneys and potential kidney disease. It also can affect the liver as well. It can affect the bones and get into your bones slowly, and it has a half-life of 10 to 35 years, meaning that it can make you develop osteoporosis or contribute to that. Now, in animals, long-term inhalation or oral exposure to cadmium results in harmful effects on the kidney, liver, lung, bone, immune system, and nervous system. And they've done some experimental studies on animals, and they found it affects them quite like us. Now, there are some differences. There are some different things based on how it gets in there, but to really break down, overall cadmium exposures of laboratory animals cause tumors of hepatogenic system, leukemia and lymphoma, local scleroma, cancers of adrenal gland, liver, lung, and kidney, pancreas, pituitary, prostate, and testes. So it all causes issues very, very similar to humans. Even though cadmium penetrates the placenta and appears in breast milk, there also appears to be no long-term cancer study using in utero exposure via the protocol. Cadmium mimics estrogen because children are exposed to cadmium via maternal exposures, and as we can see, this can have some very bad adverse effects on humans and animals. So a good way to start is to regulate your diet, to avoid smoking, to avoid a lot of these things as much as you can. But you're using water every day. And as we know, heavy industry is still going on. So especially if you're near somewhere that's using heavy industry, or if you suspect your water or worried that your water may be high in cadmium, it's always a good idea to limit your exposure, to have your water periodically tested for cadmium so that you know what's going on.